What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of the 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best gaming related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. There's starting to be quite a bit of hype around Fallout London, a DLC-sized mod for Fallout 4, and lots of people in the community are extremely excited about it. So I want to go ahead, guys, and talk about Fallout London, all the things that we know so far about this project and this mod, and I would love to have a real conversation with all of you guys in the comment section down below about it. So let's get into it. In an article written by Austin Wood of Games Radar, this is one of the most promising Fallout mods in recent memory. Fallout London is a massive fan-made Fallout 4 mod promising a DLC-sized adventure through post-apocalyptic Europe. So this obviously, guys, will give all of us that are, Fallout fans, this will quench your thirst while we're waiting for the next installment of the Fallout, Fallout title. And I think that Fallout London, this could be something that could give us hours upon hours of playtime and a lot of excitement. The trailer itself, if you haven't already seen it, definitely check it out. It looks pretty impressive. The Fallout London mod team describes the project as a continuation of the base game set in an entirely new environment with its own unique culture. That said, it might be easier to visualize this mod as an extension of Fallout 4 rather than a direct continuation. It's set in the year 2237, putting it roughly 50 years ahead of the events of Fallout 4 and smack in between Fallout and Fallout 2. So, over on the Fallout London Discord server, the mod team explained that the mod's map is about the size of the vanilla Fallout 4 Commonwealth, and in London's geography extends from Westminster to the edge of Bromley, which is a pretty sizable chunk of the city. Inside you'll find new factions, storylines, NPCs, weapons, creatures, and more. And that's so exciting to me, guys, that, this is a full fan-made mod coming to Fallout 4. That just shows you how dedicated this community is to Fallout. When you've got people that are coming together to work on a DLC-sized adventure in Fallout 4, that just shows you the love a lot of people had for Fallout 4, without a doubt. So, Vault-Tec is entirely an American company, thus it will have no presence in London. The mod's FAQ reads, "We will have a version of the Vault, but it will be entirely different from that of Vault-Tec, except that it is a shelter beneath the ground, so don't expect better living underground." In a similar vein, there will likely be a British counterpart of Vault Boy in terms of a popular mascot that will make frequent appearances. Certain robots, such as Mr. Handies and Protectons, had gone global by 2077 and thus will be included. So, at the end of the day, guys, Fallout London is such a bottom-up overhaul that you'll need a Fallout 4 save to play it, as the mod will make critical changes to the base game's mechanics as well as its content, the mod team says. For example, while the mod won't come with voice lines for your character, the team is looking to expand the game's dialogue system to bring it more in line with previous Fallout games. And lastly, the huge question people are asking is, when is this going to release? Well, Fallout London doesn't have a release date just yet, in large part because it's being made by a team of volunteers. Unsurprisingly, the mod is only planned for PC. So, it's interesting, guys. Look, at the end of the day, I'm so excited about this. And this is what I love about gaming so much, is that we as fans have the ability to come together to create incredible things out of just gaming, right? You never know what just a group of fans can maybe do for a franchise. For example, we've been talking on the YouTube channel about Dead Space, the potential return of Dead Space and what that would look like. And it was something that, we as a community had come together and tried to voice or echo Dead Space 4 into existence. And so you just never know what could happen. Well, this is something that's really even taking it a step further, wanting more Fallout content, but from fans for the fans. And that's a really cool concept. And so I think that this has a lot of promise, guys. Fallout London has a ton of promise. The reveal trailer to me was awesome. I'm super excited about this project, and I can't wait to share more as it comes out. So stay here with Zero TV for more Fallout London. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about Fallout London? Are you excited about it? Let me know. And like I said, for more Fallout London content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. So we've talked on the YouTube channel about The Day Before. This is a title, guys, I'm really excited about. After the announcement, and then we saw some game footage, trailers, things of that nature, I'm really excited about The Day Before. And, you know, for a number of reasons. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of the horror genre. We've said that, you know, countless times here on the YouTube channel. But I think that The Day Before is a title that is aggressively trying to compete against the likes of The Last of Us. We've talked about that on the YouTube channel. We've talked about how The Day Before, State of Decay, a lot of these different titles that are coming out here soon are going to be, you know, really trying to compete against The Last of Us. Now, there's only one Last of Us, guys, and The Last of Us is an absolutely incredible franchise up to this point. The two titles we've gotten, I've absolutely loved. I think that they are incredible, and they are definitely in line to become my favorite horror franchise of all time, that being The Last of Us. But The Day Before has some really cool elements to it that I think are going to make it, you know, stand out. And I just am really hoping, though, that they kind of take an approach where they want to be themselves, not trying to copy what, you know, the success of The Last of Us. So what I want to talk about in this segment of the show is about everything that we want in The Day Before. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. I'm going to give you the 5 things that I want to see out of The Day Before. And sure, this list will probably change as we get closer to launch, but I definitely want to hear from you guys. Let's have a real conversation about it. So let's get into it. So at number 1 for me, guys, the biggest thing for me when it comes to any brand new franchise, brand new title that comes out in the gaming space, it's always a full package. So what do I mean by that? I want to see a full package out of The Day Before, that being co-op, multiplayer, and a single player story. And the reason for this, guys, it stems from, you know, all the different games that are out there. The ones that kind of stand apart or stand away from all the others are those that, you know, really try to continue to innovate, but give you more reasons and, you know, I mean, more possibilities when you play the game or play it over and over again. So, for example, after you're done beating a single-player story, similar, let's just bring up God of War, for example. After you beat that single-player story, you might go through and play it one more time, but after you're done playing it a couple of times through, most likely you're going to move on to other games. And if you just absolutely love that title, that's awesome. But what I'm getting at is most people are going to move on to other games, try other games, so on and so forth. But if you captivate an audience by having a great single-player story and then really a very good supportive type of multiplayer as well as co-op, you're going to bring people back over and over again. Multiplayer is what brings you back over and over again to the game, especially if it's a good multiplayer mode. And The Day Before looks like it's got a number of elements to it that could make it a pretty interesting multiplayer, you know, universe. Co-op, of course, is going to be something that's in this game. Single player, something I'm really hoping that we're able to do as well. There's a lot that we're still up in the air about with The Day Before, but a full package is number 1 for me. Number 2 is I really think it's important, I alluded to this earlier, that The Day Before, you know, just is its own thing. Doesn't try to copy another successful title like The Last of Us. I really think that, sure, you can take things that work. Like Back 4 Blood, for example, is a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, which is awesome. But I think that Back 4 Blood is going to try different ways to make it different than Left 4 Dead. And so that's awesome. And I want to see the same thing with The Day Before. I want it to still be trying to compete against The Last of Us, but compete in your own way. Be yourself. You know, there's going to be, we want differences between these franchises. We don't want it to all be kind of the same thing that is, it's obvious that they're just trying to copy what was the success of The Last of Us. So be yourself. At number 3, I would absolutely love to see The Day Before take an approach where there's free-to-play elements to the game. I'm not saying the whole game has to be free-to-play, but I'm saying what if the Day Before decided to make its co-op modes free-to-play, or it's multiplayer free, which would probably be the best case scenario for the Day Before, is to make multiplayer free, because that's the mode that's going to bring people back over and over again. We know Halo Infinite has free-to-play multiplayer. I think the Day Before should have a, something that one of the modes or something of that nature that has free-to-play elements to it. It just gives you more reason for more people to at least give the Day Before a try. It gives it a lot more exposure when you have free-to-play elements. So I think that is going to be really important as well for the Day Before. Coming in at number 4. This is another big one, guys. When we talk about comparing the Day Before to some of these other franchises that are out there in the horror space, I think that what's going to really have to, when we're talking setting a game apart from other titles, the Day Before is going to have variety on customization, weapons, enemies. Make them totally new, totally different than what we've seen before. Now, sure, there's been so many different types of zombie games, alien games, and so it's tough to, when you start thinking about the different types of creatures and the different types of zombies that are going to be in a specific title. The Day Before gives you these real vibes, though, of a Last of Us type of, style. And so, to me, I think it's going to be really important that it needs to have variety on customization, weapons, enemies, so on and so forth, to set it a little bit apart. Don't have the same types of creatures, same types of weaponry, and things of that nature that The Last of Us does, or some of these other titles. Make sure that there are differences. That gets you back to, being yourself, being your own franchise or own game. I think that's really important. And at number 5, guys, for me, I think that the mentality going into the Day Before, the developers need to have the mentality that this is the only game, the only chance that you got is this one right here with the Day Before. Don't think about the next, title in the franchise or anything of that nature. Think about just making this the best possible game that there is. However, have in the back of your mind that the idea is to make this a long-standing franchise in the future. Make this the best possible game, and hopefully it's super successful so that they can get other editions made in the future, because I do believe that the Day Before has a lot of opportunity here to capitalize on areas that even The Last of Us isn't doing. So I'd love to see that. I'd love to have, see a long-withstanding franchise. Any franchise out there, guys, in the horror space, I absolutely admire, and I just want to see continuations of a lot of these, franchises in the future. And the up-and-comers, that being like the Day Before, I definitely want to see this into a long-withstanding franchise, because if it does become a franchise, most likely that means that it was successful, but it's also really fun and exciting. So with that, guys, those are the 5 things that I want to see in the Day Before. Let me know what you guys want to see out of this title in the comment section down below, and let's have a real conversation about it. And for more The Day Before content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. The long-awaited Elder Scrolls 6 is still probably a number of years away, guys. Maybe it's closer than we think, though. You never know. But I want to talk about everything that we know at this point in time about the Elder Scrolls 6, the highly anticipated continuation of this franchise, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's have a real conversation about it, and let's get into it. So in an article, guys, written by Gerald Lynch, Emma Boyle, Jack Webb, and Vic Hood of Tech Radar, everything that we know about Elder Scrolls 6. Will we ever get to see Elder Scrolls 6 in action? The follow-up to the classic RPG Skyrim remains shrouded in secrecy after once again failing to appear at the annual E3 game show. We know it's in development, that much has been confirmed, but when will we get to see a reveal for the game, let alone an Elder Scrolls 6 release date? The game exists in a very different era for its developers, Bethesda Game Studios, too. Not only has a new console generation started with the PS5 and Xbox Series X, but Bethesda has also been acquired by Microsoft, leaving fans wondering whether or not the game is going to be a platform exclusive, especially given Xbox boss Phil Spencer's remarks that future Bethesda games will be exclusive to platforms where Xbox Game Pass exists, which is huge, guys. I mean, this title being an Xbox exclusive, Xbox is taking a serious approach, an aggressive approach to take over gaming at this point in time. Now, sure, obviously PlayStation is always going to be there. Xbox, though, is making more moves at this point than PlayStation is. PlayStation got kind of complacent. So going back, Xbox got complacent over time. They were kind of the king of the console. Then PlayStation all of a sudden really started to ramp up their production with exclusives and all of that. And so people started moving away from Xbox over to PlayStation. But now we're seeing PlayStation is starting to get complacent. And so Xbox is starting to be, further and further along on the rise, especially because of Xbox Game Pass, which is the best Xbox, or I should say, the best gaming subscription in the industry, and it's not even close. Xbox is like the Netflix of gaming now. They are trying to create, so many opportunities for themselves by acquiring different studios. Bethesda being bought out is massive. So Elder Scrolls 6 being an Xbox exclusive would be huge for Xbox. So, okay, the long-awaited sequel to Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, when can I play it? No one knows yet, but it's looking beyond 2022 at this point. So what can I play it on? PC is a safe bet, and Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S are a certainty, but PlayStation 5 may not happen. So don't hold your breath for the Elder Scrolls 6 release date. You won't be exploring its dungeons anytime soon. Despite being announced at Bethesda's E3 2018 conference, little more than a logo was revealed. We don't even have a subtitle or a release year. Todd Howard said that the game will be coming after Starfield, the company's next big IP, but given Starfield isn't releasing until November 2022, the wait for Elder Scrolls 6 is set to be a very long one. So here's my thought, guys. Even though that it looks like Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a number of years away, the best way to think of it, though, is that Elder Scrolls Online is being consistently updated. Starfield's going to be coming out. So a lot of this can really quench your thirst. If you're a massive Bethesda fan, a big fan of the Elder Scrolls universe, there's going to be ways, sure, it's going to be a long wait, but over time, guys, there's going to be a number of ways you can still connect with that universe or the universe of Bethesda up until the release of Elder Scrolls 6. Here's the other good news about it, though, is that they're obviously taking their time. They're not trying to just rush out a title, Elder Scrolls 6, and, obviously they're going to make a lot of money off of it. But if they do it right, it could be something that is going to be really special for years and years to come. So Bethesda Game Studios director Todd Howard supported this in an interview with The Telegraph, stating it's good to think of the Elder Scrolls 6 as still being in a design phase, but we're checking the tech. Is this going to handle the things we want to do in that game? Every game will have some new suits of technology, so Elder Scrolls 6 will have some additions onto Creation Engine 2 that game is going to require. So obviously, guys, we had the Elder Scrolls 6 official announcement back in 2018. It has been a long time since we even saw anything on Elder Scrolls 6. E3 2021 was a blast and went with the Microsoft Xbox show being one of the event's highlights, but sadly, it didn't bring with it any new news on Elder Scrolls 6, apart from the fact that it was still in development. Instead, Bethesda's main focus during the show was on revealing in-game or in-engine footage of the alluring Starfield. We'll have to wait a bit longer to find out more on that key franchise then. So I think it's important, guys, that they want to really put a spotlight on Starfield right now. Elder Scrolls will have its time, but Starfield, it just makes sense that that's the focus right now. Elder Scrolls will be after that. So my thought is that we're probably going to certainly see something on Elder Scrolls 6 next E3. So E3 2022 is when we'll see something on it. They're obviously going to be showing us more and more as time goes of Starfield. So Elder Scrolls makes sense that maybe next year we'll see that. But at the end of the day, it could even be 2023. But my guess would be 2022. So, Elder Scrolls 6 may not come to PS5. Xbox boss Phil Spencer has confirmed that future Bethesda games will be exclusive to platforms where Game Pass exists, meaning PS5 players will miss out. So, if you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is that this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists, Spencer explained. That's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building. So obviously I can't sit here and say every Bethesda game is exclusive because we know that's not true, Spencer said. There are contractual obligations that we're going to see through, as we always do in every one of these instances. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to go support those games on the platforms they're on. There are communities of players, and we love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them. And even in the future, there might be things that have contractual things or legacy on different platforms that we'll go through or we'll go do. So there was some leaked footage, guys, that came out. So a video claiming to be early test footage from the Elder Scrolls 6 has appeared online, but its authenticity is suspect. Posted to Reddit, the footage is extremely short and only gives a first-person view of a figure running across grass and past rocks. So there's very little to indicate that the footage is the genuine article, and there's also very little to the footage, full stop. Even if it was the real thing, it seems to us that as much as we wish we were getting a look at the Elder Scrolls 6 in action, the safest thing to do is to take that with a pinch of salt and assume that it's fake. So that's another thing, obviously, guys, there's going to be a lot of leaks and things of that nature that come out. Whether they're true or not is, yet to be really fully disclosed to us. But that's something to definitely kind of keep an eye on. Now, the new Indiana Jones game won't delay Elder Scrolls 6 development. Bethesda has recently announced that it's working with Machine Games on a new Indiana Jones game, with Bethesda Game Studio director Todd Howard taking on an executive producer role for that game. Those worried, however, that this additional work might have an impact on the Elder Scrolls 6, on which he's also working, need not fret. So obviously, they've got multiple teams working on a number of different, titles and such, guys. That, obviously, Bethesda has grown over time, right, into a pretty sizable studio. So I'm really excited about the Indiana Jones game. Obviously, the Elder Scrolls 6 title. 2021 looks set to be a better year for Elder Scrolls 6 news than 2020 after the official Elder Scrolls account tweeted something that may or may not be a tease for the Elder Scrolls 6. The tweet, which reads, "Transcribe the past and map the future. Here's to a happy new year," includes a picture of a map with 3 lights on it. The lights are placed on different areas of Tamriel, with one on a box above the map, another on Skyrim, and another, interestingly, on an unmapped area below Skyrim, Hammerfell. It's long been rumored that the Elder Scrolls 6 will be set in Hammerfell, home of the Redguard, but nothing has actually been confirmed yet. Naturally, many fans are taking this image as a hint that the rumors are about the setting are true. We can't know for sure that any of this is accurate or even related to Elder Scrolls 6 until official word comes from Bethesda, but given the phrase "map the future" and the fact that Hammerfell on the map in the photo is yet to be mapped and explored, this is certainly a very leading tweet. Exciting stuff. So obviously, PlayStation isn't sure about the future of Elder Scrolls and what that's going to look like. The big news, though, obviously, is that Elder Scrolls 6 is using a brand new engine. So Bethesda has confirmed it is overhauling its current engine specifically for Elder Scrolls 6. Imagine if Elder Scrolls 6 looked and ran like Skyrim. This is a thought which belongs somewhere firmly shut behind the gates of Oblivion. According to Games Radar, the engine reportedly has the same name, but it will bring new renders, lighting, animations, landscape system, and photogrammetry. So, speaking at the Development Brighton conference, Howard gave more information on the overhauled Creation engine, saying that it's been a significant overhaul, adding that it's taken us longer than we would have liked, but it's going to power everything we're doing with Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. When people see the results, they'll hopefully be as happy as we are with what's on the screen and also how we can go about making our games. So that's exciting, guys. Obviously, when you get a new engine, a lot of times sometimes it can be a little bit scary because you don't know, is this going to look like a lot better? Is it going to look way different than other installments in the franchise? But I think that Bethesda, they've been doing this for a while. Even though there's been some hiccups along the way with some of their titles, I trust that they're taking their time with Elder Scrolls 6. They want to make sure that this is right and that it looks and feels like a fresh adventure in that universe. So obviously, guys, Elder Scrolls 6 will be coming after Starfield. I think there's no secret there. Obviously, there's been a number of job listings that have come out, guys, which is exciting. A lot of these job listings are basically reconfirming that, Elder Scrolls 6 is still in active development at this point in time. So, Elder Scrolls 6 goes official. Bethesda is a busy studio. Not only is it working on Starfield, it's also continuing to develop for Elder Scrolls Online. It's taking on the long commitment of Fallout 76, and that's only in its main RPG franchises. It's still got plenty going on elsewhere with mobile games, Dishonored, Prey, and others. Thanks to Todd Howard, we know Bethesda is working on 2 huge new titles simultaneously, though their developments are staggered. Having returned to Skyrim after some time away, Howard compared it to seeing an old friend from high school, adding that the time away had given him the chance to see Skyrim as a gamer for the first time. At the very least, we can say we know it won't just be called Elder Scrolls 6. There's going to be a colon and another word to round the title off if previous releases are anything to go by. So previous games have taken us to High Rock, Hammerfell, Morrowind, Cyrodiil, and Skyrim. Valenwood, Aesir, and Black Marsh are the biggest places left to explore. However, even though these areas are prime spots for exploration, that's not to say that Bethesda won't return to areas from previous games. And like I said, I think one of the things I've really hoped for with Elder Scrolls 6 is, we want to see, some familiarity. Some of the places from the previous installments, we want to see some of those places, right? We want to be able to explore those places, but we also want to go to new places as well, so that it's, it's different, right? We want to keep things fresh, but you want to have, some familiar characters, some familiar enemies, weapons, locations, but then you also want those differences. And I think that's going to be really important moving forward with this title. So, after the brief announcement trailer for Elder Scrolls 6 was released during E3 2018, many fans began to move away from the idea of a Valenwood setting, as the landscape shown in the trailer didn't reflect Valenwood all that much. It's hard to tell from the short E3 clip we have of the game, but since it was shown, general opinion has started to move towards the idea that the Elder Scrolls 6 will be set in either Hammerfell or High Rock. So in an interview with Eurogamer, Todd Howard confirmed the team has settled on the location, but he won't tell us where yet. Obviously, those of us who know the world of Tamriel, thanks to Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, and yes, even Elder Scrolls Online, the entire world is a veritable expanse of different lands and settings where the game could be set. So, to kind of conclude here, guys, 2, big points here. A whole new story. So in an interview with GameSpot, Todd Howard said that Bethesda is looking into exactly how it tells its stories in its games. Howard noted that Skyrim and Fallout 4 take slightly different approaches to stories, with Skyrim leaving things more open to the player's vision and Fallout guiding them more firmly through a story. Being aware of the differences between Skyrim and Fallout's approaches to storytelling, and the fact that both have positives and negatives, suggests that the next Elder Scrolls title could strike some kind of balance between giving the player completely free reign and telling a story around their character. Though we don't in any way want Bethesda to just churn out a Witcher copy, it does put a certain amount of pressure on Bethesda when it comes to achieving high-quality environmental and quest-based storytelling. So having a new story, guys, is awesome. But like I said, having some, similar characters, similar enemies, weapons from the other installments of Skyrim or, Elder Scrolls as a whole really gives you that feeling like you're back in that universe. But having those differences is going to be huge as well. So I'm excited about that. Now, no multiplayer. Something we don't expect to see, though, is multiplayer. Skyrim certainly doesn't suffer from a lack of multiplayer, and it wouldn't really make all that much sense to incorporate any online multiplayer gameplay with the Elder Scrolls Online still rolling along. And I agree with that. They have Elder Scrolls Online. Just keep on ramping up, that as far as, keep on, servicing Elder Scrolls Online as much as possible and updating it, and people will have, a blast with that, especially when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. I think that's going to give you just more and more to do, of course, in that universe. If you don't want to play anymore, or you beat Elder Scrolls 6 and you want to still kind of play in that universe, Elder Scrolls Online is perfect. So, I mean, guys, this is everything that we know so far about Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, when you think about it, we really don't know that much. A lot of the things that we, think we know, a lot of it's speculation. Todd Howard has talked a lot. We know that it's coming after Starfield. We know it's going to be a new story. We know it's going to be, most likely not have multiplayer because of Elder Scrolls Online. There's a lot of things that we don't know, though. There's a lot of mystery shrouded around this title, and that's what makes it so exciting. Makes it so much fun for us as fans to talk about. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about Elder Scrolls 6? What are you excited about the most? Let me know. And for more Elder Scrolls 6 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. When Days Gone got announced, I, for one, didn't think that this title was actually going to really take off. I was a little bit skeptical, thinking that, oh yeah, it's just another title that's trying to kind of capture some of those, some of the fan base from games like The Last of Us and such. But, come to find, Days Gone really did make a big impact, created a pretty large community and people wanting another title in this franchise. And I wanted to talk about, what happened here to Days Gone. It's certainly a title that people want to see a continuation of, and I, for one, from being skeptical about the first game to now, I certainly think that this is a franchise or a title that needs to have a continuation. So I want to talk about what happened to Days Gone, and could we see a sequel in the future? So let's talk about it. So, guys, obviously, this is a title that came out in April of 2019, so it's not that old of a title. It came out in 2021, May of 2021 on PC. So, I mean, when you think about it, it's taken a little bit of some time here to kind of ramp up. But when we think of, what happened here to a franchise, there's a couple of things you have to look at. You've got to look at, number one, the critical reception, and you also got to look at the sales of that title, because really at the end of the day, guys, number one is, the sales. That's what's really important. When you look at the numbers and all of that, that's what's going to dictate a lot of times if you're going to get a continuation of any franchise in particular. Number two is certainly the critical reception. That is something that's really important as well. So let's break it down, guys. And like I said, I'd love to have a real conversation with all of you in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So the critical reception here, guys, of Days Gone. So that's that's obviously something that's pretty important to look at here. So Days Gone received mixed or average reviews for the PlayStation 4 and generally favorable reviews for the PC version, according to review aggregator Metacritic. Critics felt that the gameplay and world design showed promise, but ultimately felt underdeveloped. The story was criticized, noting that it did little to characterize the protagonist, although Whitwer's performance was praised. So when we look at this, you got Metacritic giving it 71 out of 100. And first of all, guys, I think one of the things that happened here with Days Gone, the reason why we haven't seen a continuation or an announcement that there was going to be a continuation yet is that this is a PlayStation exclusive. And look, I'm not saying that PlayStation exclusives or just Xbox exclusives that really hurts the franchise or a title, but sometimes it does. When you're exclusive to one console or exclusive to one thing, especially if it's not free to play or whatever the case might be, there can a lot of times be problems, and obviously you don't meet those goals or those sales goals that you need to hit, and especially with having some, mixed or average reviews, that sometimes can hurt it. Now, according to Game Informer, it was given a 7.8 out of 10. GameSpot, 5 out of 10. That's not really that great. IGN, 6.5 out of 10. I mean, okay, that's okay. But when I look at it, the critical reception, it wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. So that was kind of something I think that hurt Days Gone without a doubt. The sales, however, is a different story. So despite the mixed reviews, Days Gone was the best-selling physical game in the United Kingdom in the week of release. It went on to be the best-selling software release in the all-format sales charts for 3 consecutive weeks. Days Gone would also debut at the #1 position in the retail charts in Switzerland, where it remained there for 3 consecutive weeks. In Japan, Days Gone outsold 2 other PlayStation 4 exclusive games at launch, God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. That is crazy that it outsold both of those other PlayStation exclusive. Think about that. God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. That is massive. It went on to surpass the lifetime sales of God of War and another exclusive PlayStation 4 game, The Last Guardian. In its first 3 days after launch, it sold approximately 114,319 physical units. In North America, Days Gone was the second best-selling video game software for the month of April, behind Mortal Kombat 11. This marks Days Gone as the 7th highest debut in sales for a Sony-published title and the best-selling game developed by Bend Studio. Days Gone proceeded to become the second best-selling video game software in North America for April 2019. By June 2019, it was the 8th best-selling video game of the year. It was the 19th best-selling game of 2019 in the US, according to game director Jeff Ross. Days Gone sold more copies than all of Bend Studios' previous games combined. I mean, and that's huge. So the sales side of it was, in my opinion, it exceeded expectation by a massive margin. It outsold God of War as well as Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, obviously, this is in Japan, but still, I mean, that's massive, guys. Days Gone was doing something right, for sure. Now, it went on and it was nominated and won a number of awards as well, guys, as far as from just the Independent Game Developers Association to the, Gamers' Choice Awards, so on and so forth. Absolutely awesome. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The canceled sequel. So they already had a sequel that was essentially going to be greenlit, and then what happened? Well, on April 9th, 2021, Jason Schreier of Bloomberg News revealed that Bend had pitched a sequel to Days Gone, but that the mixed critical reception and lengthy development process of the first game caused Sony to reject the proposal. So the mixed critical reception, that's pretty crazy. To think that the mixed critical reception, this is what I was telling you, talking about earlier, guys, is there's two things that dictate whether a series or a game title is going to have a continuation or not. Number one is sales, number two is critical reception. And it's interesting to me, though, that the critical reception is kind of the main thing, and the lengthy development process as well. It's very interesting. Shortly afterwards, Ross confirmed that Days Gone 2 had been pitched to Sony, but that many of the details could not be confirmed due to a non-disclosure agreement. He also revealed that part of the plan for the sequel was a shared universe with co-op play, which was not included in the original Days Gone due to the constraints of working in a small studio. What's interesting to me is the shared universe. That's kind of interesting. That sounds like pretty innovative. While appearing on a podcast with David Jaffe, the creator of the God of War franchise, Garvin told listeners, if you love a game, buy it at full price, and implied that part of the reason Days Gone did not receive a sequel was because it did not turn a significant enough profit, which is pretty interesting to me as well. The fact of the matter is that it sold very well overall, guys. Now, the one thing I can think of that may have really kind of chopped into Days Gone's budget and such and their profit would have been the lengthy development process. Obviously, Sony's going to be paying the studio, every, weekly or every other week, right? Obviously, for the work that they're doing. And if it's a long process and then the game comes out and it doesn't flip enough of a profit, that can be a problem as well. So Garvin came under fire for his remarks with arguments that Days Gone had already benefited from fan support during its release and that it was unreasonable to ask someone to spend $70 USD on an unknown quantity. Others noted that Sony ultimately controlled sales on PlayStation games or offer free demos, and the onus could not be placed entirely on the purchasers. Following Garvin's comments, lead designer Eric Jensen thanked players for their support no matter when they had purchased or played it. So at the end of the day, Days Gone 2 and what that could maybe look like in the future, guys, if obviously it's been canceled, right, the sequel. However, that doesn't mean that all is lost, right? Think of it from this perspective, guys. I'm a huge fan of Dead Space, right? I love the horror genre as a whole. Dead Space, we've been waiting and waiting to hear if this is a game that's going to come back or if it's a game that's just going to be in a limbo state or a state of no return for forever, right? And all of a sudden, EA comes out and there's, talk and rumor that they're actually developing a new Dead Space title all these years later. And that's so exciting. And Dead Space, guys, this has a fan base that has been just hoping and yearning for another continuation in that franchise. And Days Gone, I think, could be something similar to that, where if the community sticks together, no matter what, and continues to try to echo Days Gone 2 into existence, whether we're talking over the course of time, the next number of years, when you think about it, Days Gone, the original title didn't, it came out, in 2019, so not that long ago. Obviously, you want to hear that a sequel is in the works, right? But at the same time, give it time. I think that there is certainly an opportunity for Days Gone 2 to happen, even though of the mixed reception. I feel like Sony, as well as, the developers here, know what they did right and what they did wrong and what they can do better moving forward. And now, over the course of time here, we very well might start seeing more information on Days Gone 2, and I'll be sure to keep you guys all up to speed as more information does come out. I don't think we've seen the last of Days Gone, guys. I think that there's still room. I think this could become a long-withstanding franchise if done right, and as long as the community sticks together and tries to echo that sequel into existence. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you guys think happened to Days Gone? And do you think we're going to see a Days Gone 2? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Days Gone 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.